streetcar divisions. Some people may wonder what's happened to it. It was actually a beautiful building, and I actually tried to save it before being elected in 2003, and I was too late by about 8 months, and it was structurally unsound, and so the beautiful old barns were bulldozed, and what you have today is the beautiful gravel field that we have here today. And just as a precursor, a few last comments. One of the reasons it remains a gravel field today is that it is the subject of contamination. There is underground contamination on the site that the TDC suspects comes from the big factory building over there at Ward and Wallace, trichloroethylene. But Toronto Public Health, I thought you should know this since you're here and that many of you are from the neighborhood, continues to monitor it. It's about 15 meters down, and some remediation has begun. So we always get asked questions about why it's still a gravel field, and the reason it is because there's still a fight going on with GE, but some remediation has begun, and it's monitored to make sure that there's no impact on the community. I thought some of you who live around the neighborhood would want to know that. A couple of years ago, when it became clear that this site would not be immediately developed, and for those of you in the community, you'll remember that there was talk about it becoming a police station, a whole series of initiatives. Because of the contamination, it became clear that it would take a number of years for us to clean up the site. And as a result, the Commission directed that we give something back to the community in recognition of the fact that this was blocked off. No one could access the site. It's not exactly inside a beautiful site with all the gravel, and we looked for a way to actually give back to the community, sort of thank them for their perseverance, thank them for their understanding as we prepare to develop the site in the years to come. And there's nothing on the table for the next 3 or 4 years, to be quite frank, and so we wanted to make a contribution. So the Commission went out with a request for proposals for an art project, and what you see here is the fantastic outcome of this process, and 2 artists were involved. I'm going to invite them up here in just a second to really talk to us a little bit about how they came up with the concept, because we're not artists at the Toronto Transit Commission. Good at running buses, streetcars, subways, not so good at public art. So we went out and got some artists, Marianne, Lovink, as well as Scott Eunson, who both local Toronto artists, and gave them really broad scope to come up with something that would contribute to the neighborhood, and I think we can all agree what we have is a fantastic contribution to the neighborhood. So I'd like to ask Marianne and Scott to come up and tell us a little bit about their project that really has contributed so much to this neighborhood, and I've just been excited to watch it go up over the last couple months, and it's complete. And maybe Marianne and Scott could come up and give us a few words, and then we'll formally unveil it, so to speak, and enjoy the rest of the beautiful evening. Marianne, Scott.
First of all, Scott and I would like to thank you all for coming, especially on this incredibly hot afternoon. And we'd like to thank the TTC and especially Councillor Giambrone for providing us with this wonderful opportunity. As soon as we learned of the competition, we were intrigued and really excited by the challenge of creating a public artwork on such a large scale and in a neighborhood close to where we both work and live. As we wrote in our statement, our project goal was to animate this vacant lot and patch a hole in the fabric of the city. In thinking about the project, we decided early on that we wanted to create a work of art that not only would enrich and enliven the site, but was also of the site. To accomplish this, we made a conscious decision to use, as our raw materials, only images specific to and collected from the immediate environment, and decided to present these images as a series of graphic silhouettes along the length of the fence. We were interested in revealing and highlighting the hidden beauty in the everyday and often overlooked areas of corners of urban space, and providing a fresh perspective on the neighborhood. We hoped our efforts would reflect the area's vibrant cultural life and would celebrate the neighborhood's past, present, and future. The process of creating this work was integral to its creation and development, and Scott is going to discuss and give us a little insight into that.
Thanks, Marianne. Yeah, the process from the beginning, I guess we began in 2008 from the original call for submissions, and the install itself, we began building the work mid-January this year. So it's really been a major and lasting project for us. And what we decided to do early in the project is make the process the kind of driving force. The first thing we did was went and visited this place again and again and again, and learned about it and photographed the interesting things that we found around, from the scale of the industrial buildings in the area right down to weeds growing through cracks in the site. And we were interested in all those things, and combining them all in a composition. So those original images we distilled down using computer graphics software to a silhouette, and these silhouettes were combined and merged together, making these kind of small little episodes that you see with their own character running down the site. Really, each piece, each section as we call them, has its own kind of method to it, as well as its own imagery. And in this way, the piece kind of grew in the same way that a neighborhood grows, through these kind of incremental steps of growth and change, each with its own kind of internal logic, but adding up to a whole that's hopefully greater than the sum of its parts. We decided to keep to a monochromatic painting scheme because we wanted the thing to act as silhouettes and be more about light and space than a kind of applied imagery that would be maybe more appropriate for a commercial advertising or marketing kind of language. Yeah, the fence itself is 800 feet long, and we've been here over the last 4 months getting sunburnt and just kind of enjoying being here and talking to people and strong. And we hope that the piece kind of continues to grow and that people can experience it in deeper levels as they see these small parts and pieces that have gone together to make the whole. We'd like to do some thanks now. Thanks to Adam and the TTC for sponsoring the project and making this happen. Really, it was their vision about the place that we took up and believed fully in and worked to apply through the whole project.
We also should thank Chris Lyon and Jono Gooch. I don't think Jono's here. Is Jono here? Okay, yeah. Good. Well, we couldn't have done it without them. They painted every bit of this fence twice. So that was really wonderful, and they were great to work with. And also Brian O'Neill, who I haven't seen today, but he is our project supervisor at the TTC and was really encouraging throughout the process. And also, finally, Brad Golden, who was on the selection committee, and he really was involved with the project right from the beginning, and he was really encouraging and gave us a huge amount of advice and support. So thanks to him. Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for coming. It's a pleasure.
Thanks. So we're going to do the formal ribbon cutting, and afterwards, of course, you're all welcome to stay around. There's some refreshments, and happy to mingle and discuss the work. So we'll do the formal unveiling now.